God's own country, Kerala, unfolds its divinity through exuberant natural beauty and magnificent heritage of faith. The long-lasting trade relations with the Jews and the Arabs from ancient times, and the footprints of St. Thomas the Apostle, of St. Francis Xavier, and of other missionaries on the soil of Kerala paved the way for the glory of Kerala as the cradle of Christianity, with a special reference to Ceylon, the first diocese of the churches of Asia. The congregation of the Missionary Sisters of St. Therese of Infant Jesus was founded in Ceylon, Kerala on 27 January 1959 by the servant of God, Bishop Jerome M. Fernandez, the first indigenous bishop of Ceylon, under the patronage of St. Therese of Infant Jesus, Ceylon. The founder adopted Our Lady of Mount Carmel and Saint Joseph for a special devotion, and Saint Therese of Infant Jesus as the patroness of the congregation. When Father Jerome M. Fernandez was made the first indigenous bishop of Ceylon, the Catholic community of the diocese, by and large, was the most neglected, backward, and downtrodden. Hunger, diseases, poverty, lack of education, unemployment, dearth of proper houses, and social backwardness were some of the main issues the diocese had to address. His love was for all, the needy, the poor, the orphans, and the underprivileged. He carried out everything without any distinction and discrimination, irrespective of caste, creed, or religion. It was really an exceptional mission and daring venture during that period to undertake. His great and tremendous trust and confidence in God enabled him to pursue and achieve what was normally thought impossible. He was a man of farsightedness and a visionary. Neither prosperity nor adversity could ever disturb the equanimity of his soul. Bishop Jerome's ardent love for the integral growth and development of the underprivileged made him invite many congregations to the diocese to serve the people irrespective of caste and creed. Though there were many congregations to the service of the diocese, it was his earnest desire to found a congregation with a missionary fire and seal of little flower to assist priests in the pastoral ministry and to render service to the poor in the society. A blessing in disguise. At this juncture, there came across a few young women from Chelakara, Trichur, who were the members of a pious association of women under the patronage of St. Therese of Infant Jesus, started on 1st April 1941 in Trichur by Reverend Father Vigilius TOCD, assisted by Miss Kochutresia. For 12 years, they lived in the territory of the Diocese of Trichur. Having received no recognition from the Bishop of Trichur, they sought approval and shelter from Most Reverend Dr. Jerome M. Fernandez, the Bishop of Ceylon, who welcomed them warmly on 25th April 1953 and gave them a house in a small town close to Mavelikara called Kunnam. Thus, the arrival of 8 pious women, along with the spiritual director, Reverend Father Vigilius CMI, marked the beginning of a new community of the Association of Pious Women on 22nd July 1953 by the official decree of the Congregation of Propaganda Fide, Rome. Bishop Jerome was given the permission to form this community of women as a pious institute under the title Little Flower Mission. Later on, in 1955, its constitution was approved by the Propaganda Fide. On 27 January 1959, this pious association of women was approved as a religious congregation by the Holy See, and Most Reverend Dr. Jerome Fernandez canonically erected it as the Congregation of Missionary Sisters of St. Teresa of Infant Jesus, Coilon. Numerous were the struggles and tensions the infant congregation had to face in the early days. When the infant congregation was deprived of the guidance and spiritual direction, Bishop Jerome sought the help of different congregations in providing right formation to the formees. For almost 9 years, candidates have been dependent on different congregations of the diocese for the completion of their novitiate. The congregations of Holy Cross and Franciscan Sisters of Immaculate Heart of Mary had shown great interest and generosity to share their novitiate formation to the pioneers of MSST. On 5th February 1959, the novitiate was canonically erected and 6 postulants were vested with religious habit. All these 6 novices, including Kochuthresia, were sent with the permission of the Holy See to the Holy Cross Novitiate, Kottayam, Coilon, to undergo their canonical novitiate, as the bishop did not succeed in getting a novice mistress to take charge of the newly started novitiate. In the same year, on 21st May 1959, 2 other postulants received their vestition. The 7 novices who completed their canonical novitiate in the 2 different novitiates made their first profession at their house at Kunnam on 1st July 1961. With a special permission of the Sacred Congregation, 3 were allowed to make their perpetual profession and other 4 their first profession. Among the perpetually professed, one sister, Sister Mary Duvita, was appointed as the Superior General of the congregation, and Sister Mary Cicely as the first counselor by His Excellency Right Reverend Dr. Jerome Fernandez, the founder of the congregation. Her appointment remained renewed annually by the bishop. With the assistance of the internuncio, who happened to visit Kerala, 2 sisters from the congregation of the Apostolic Carmel, namely Sister Verda and Sister Georgia, were sent on 15th October 1963 to provide proper training to the formees. From then on, Bishop Jerome Fernandez was the spiritual guide and protector of MSST congregation. The Apostolic Carmel sisters, having taken charge of the novitiate, found grave disorders prevailing in the congregation and were forced to notify them to the bishop. His Excellency took serious steps immediately to rectify the matters. Reverend Father Vigilius was to be recalled to his monastery on expiration of his period of exclaustration. His departure left the congregation penniless, as all the money and properties were made over to his name and his friends. With him, Kochuthresia, the novice, and 2 professed sisters left the congregation. The Apostolic Carmel sisters were now able to attend to the religious formation of the novices and to build up the congregation with those at their disposal. When everything was brought to order, His Lordship Bishop Jerome Fernandez, the founder of the congregation, with his tender love of a mother and the solicitous care of a father, could promote the future growth. On December 2nd, 1972, His Excellency Bishop Jerome Fernandez granted permission to shift the mother house along with the novitiate from Kunnam to Umayanellur for easier administration and to provide proper care to the spiritual needs of the members. His Excellency renamed the convent as Cherupushpa Nivas and the new novitiate Cherupushpa Novitiate. On 26 February 1992, His Excellency Most Reverend Jerome Fernandez, the founder of MSST, was called to his eternal abode, and on 24th February 2019 was declared Servant of God by the Holy Mother Church. A sad situation of exodus of our dear sisters on ritual tradition surprisingly surfaced, but those misfortunes were perhaps the secrets of the divine providence to strengthen the congregation. It might have been God's plan that the congregation be bifurcated on the basis of right. As per the decree of St. John Paul II in 1992, the Sacred Congregation of the Propaganda Fide Rome approved the bifurcation. The Syro-Malabar members of the MSST left for the Archdiocese of Chenganasheri, taking a new name of Missionary Sisters of Little Flower. At this crucial time, as a Supreme Moderator, Right Reverend Dr. Joseph G. Fernandez, the Bishop of Kollam, guarded and guided the congregation in its existential journey. The MSST, founded by Bishop Jerome, continued to exist in the Diocese of Kollam. On division of the congregation, with the minority members of the Latin Rite, fell on the shoulders of Mother Mary Therese, the first Mother Vicar of the Latin Rite. But with a firm determination and a great trust in the Lord, she led the congregation for 25 years successfully. The hands of the divine were holding and leading the congregation from the soil of Kollam to the various fertile lands of the Latin Rite Diocese of Kerala, other states of India, and even abroad. His Excellency, Right Reverend Dr. Stanley Roman, the successor of Bishop Joseph G. Fernandez, continued to guide the congregation with the dream and vision of the founder. Still, they do continue their encouragement and guidance. At present, His Excellency, Right Reverend Dr. Paul Mullasheri, leads the congregation with paternal care and concern. The Superiors General, since the foundation of the congregation, are Reverend Mother Mary Duvita, Reverend Mother Mary Agnes, Reverend Mother Vicar Mary Emmanuel, Reverend Mother Vicar Mary Lucia, Reverend Mother General Mary Therese, Reverend Mother General Rachel Joseph, Reverend Mother General Shanti Anthony. By capturing the simplicity and freshness of the gospel in the spirit of Saint Therese and the vision of the founder, MSST strives to inculcate among the members of the congregation a deep spiritual concern for the poor and the underprivileged. The charism of the congregation is option for the poor and to be poor. Since love was the emerging force of the spirituality of Saint Therese, a missionary seal born out of love and readiness for sacrifice is to be manifested in the apostolate and mission. As of 2020, MSST has 154 professed religious sisters serving in 34 houses and 18 candidates. The presence of the sisters made a difference in the society wherever they have lived. That paved the way to the emergence of new communities in different places of various dioceses in Kerala. Sisters were involved in the various activities of the Diocese of Koilon, Trivandrum, Neyatankara, Punalur, Cochin, Vijayapuram and Calicut. The MSST extended its mission to other states like Yettakode in the Diocese of Kozhikode, Ramnagar in the Archdiocese of Bangalore, Manikpur in the Diocese of Jhansi, Indiragar in the Diocese of Golia, Greater Noida in the Diocese of Agra, and in Delhi. MSST fulfills the charism through the ministries of education, family apostolate, pastoral activities, youth ministry, BCC prayer services, and other social activities. Sisters' involvement in the life of the people of very remote villages are aimed serving people and educating them. Sisters of each community visit the families of the area in order to build up a good rapport with the people and to study the life situation of the families and the locality as a whole in order to provide better help and guidance to them. Tremendous achievements in the field of education among the poor, especially in the rural areas, carried out by the MSST are obvious. Challenged by the widespread illiteracy of the regions, MSST opened up schools, especially in remote villages. It is noteworthy that all the schools, including kindergarten to higher secondary, run by the missionary sisters of St. Teresa of Infant Jesus, mainly focus on the holistic formation of children and thereby immense happiness and satisfaction to the people. Also, sisters took up teaching in the schools run by the parish under various dioceses. A new and dignified face to the nursing profession given by the exemplary service of missionary sisters is remarkable in the medical field. Sensing the need of the people for an easier access to medical facility, sisters conduct health checkups in schools and free medical camps in the interior villages, targeting especially the poor. As St. Teresa cherished her dream, I would want to preach the gospel on all the 5 continents. MSST extends its mission in various countries. The presence and service of the sisters in the Diocese of Cesena Cesena and Vissen in the Diocese of Chur, Frankfurt in the Diocese of Limburg, and Siegen in the Diocese of Paderborn is commendable. The congregation of the Missionary Sisters of St. Teresa has now grown enough to fly high with the missionary spirit of St. Teresa and the vision of the founder to shine in the universe and to proclaim that Jesus is the light of the world. By placing great trust in the providence of the Almighty God, And by seeking the powerful intercession of Our Lady of Mount Carmel and Saint Joseph and imbibing the spirit of Saint Teresa of Infant Jesus, MSST continues its journey to serve God and His people created in His own image and likeness.